today. So I haven't done a video in a while. I haven't really been that into it lately, kind of taking a break. I have tons of ideas for videos. Well, that's kind of the problem. I keep wanting to do these Kurt Cobain book videos, but I feel like people are probably waiting for some other type of video. You'll just see. We'll just see what I do next. So today's video is about lucid dream tea, lucid dreaming, and a little bit about psychic dreaming. So I wanted to have a lucid dream. I've had lucid dreams before, but I wanted to have the type of dream where you're flying and you have control of flying. I've always heard people having these dreams. I've never had one like that. I've had the sort of lucid dreams where I know I'm dreaming, and I can kind of like control the storyline a little bit, but no flying dreams yet. So I thought I read that there's all these teas that you can try that kind of induce lucid dreaming, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I got 4 of them here from Amazon, so it's nothing too crazy to start out. But they all say, you know, consult your doctor, so I'm just telling you my personal experiences, and you might want to read up on them a little before if you try them yourself. I'm not recommending them in any way to anyone. It's for you to decide. So for this experiment, I decided to start a little dream journal, which I've had in the past, but I wanted to be really organized, and just a lucid dream journal, we'll call it, although it turned into a psychic dream journal. And what I would do is I'd just put the date, and then I would write. I tried to write at night before going to sleep, and then again in the morning. I didn't always write in the morning. It's kind of hard for me to start writing right away, but that's really what you need to do to keep track of the dreams. You're gonna lose parts of them, forget parts of them, so you really got to try to make the time in the morning. What I used to do sometimes is I would send myself an email, and I'd write my dream in it, and then each day I'd just keep replying with the next night's dream, and it's a really easy way to keep track of your dreams. That way it's dated, time-stamped, and you can go back through your email and search by keyword, and that way if you remember having a dream, but you're not sure when you had it, it's like an easy way to search for it. So say like you had a dream about balloons, you just go to your email, type in balloons, it's going to bring up all emails mentioning balloons, and you can find your dream pretty easy that way. So the first tea that I got and started with is just straight up mugwort, because I read that's a really good lucid dream herb. And I wasn't expecting this big of bag, but it's interesting because the back of the bag says you can use it in a bath, as tea, or in a sachet. I haven't tried it in a bath yet. I've tried the other two. Not a bath yet. I kind of want to try it that way. But the only thing is, from the bag, it smells, I like the smell. Not everyone might. It's very herbal smelling, and it just looks like a bunch of dried up leaves. But the thing is, when you make it into a tea, it is the most disgusting thing I have ever tasted. It tastes like literal poison. Like, it scared me at first. I'm like, oh my god, I'm poisoning myself, I thought, when I drank it, because it just tastes horrible. It tastes like something you should not be drinking. But I drink it anyways. And I have to say, I probably had the most interesting dream experience out of all my teas with this one. So I went into this with the plans to have a lucid dream, and what I ended up with kind of surprised me. It wasn't quite what I expected. So when I had that tea for the first night, my dreams were very interesting. It was like another part of myself was talking to myself, telling me to pay attention to certain things and to remember to write things down in the morning. And there was this one part of the dream where my cat was going into a room, and then out of the room came this strange looking cat, but it wasn't my cat, and it was like no cat I've ever seen. It was taller than a house cat. It had these really skinny legs and these very pointed ears and this very bushy tail, and it was kind of looking back at me over its shoulder, and its tail was swishing, and it had these very distinctive kind of tiger cat markings. And it was so beautiful. Its eyes were glittering. And then the other part of myself, version of myself, higher self, said, you need to draw that when you wake up. And then I said to that other part of myself, I can't draw that. And it told me to just try. But when I woke up, I didn't try. But the weird thing was that a few hours later, I'm watching the news, and I see that exact animal on the news. They had just captured this exotic cat from Africa in the woods here in Massachusetts. I have never seen that animal before. It's so strange. So, as far as psychic dreams go, that's not really that useful. Like, what good is that information? That wasn't like the winning lottery numbers or anything. That wasn't like the answer to a crime. I didn't like help prevent a crime. No, I just saw a cat that I saw in the news. I don't know. It was just a strange experience. I did look up like psychic dreaming. And there's a really interesting video I found. I'll put it in the link. And it said in the video that most people do have psychic dreams like that, where it's just small things that will happen within the next few hours of waking up. They just don't really realize it until they start keeping track of their dreams. I've been keeping track of my dreams for a long time, and I've never had that experience before, though. That I remember. Maybe I have a few times. Something sort of similar to the dream happened, but not a lot, so I don't know. It was just interesting. I wasn't expecting that with this. So the next tea I got is called Deep Dreams, and it's organic mugwort based again. Nature's Best Dream Tea. This one smells incredible. It has a whole lot of other stuff in there besides mugwort, and I actually really enjoyed the taste of this one. I didn't taste the mugwort at all. This has mugwort, cardamom, fennel, ginger, lemongrass, licorice, saffron, holy basil, rosebuds, and cinnamon. And most of these other herbs I looked up, and they're just for their relaxing properties. I think maybe holy basil is also a lucid dream herb, but the rest I think are pretty much just for relaxing and easing yourself into sleep. So I did have a kind of sleep paralysis moment, strange sleep moment with this one, but it was really fun. Like, sometimes I have sleep paralysis and I actually kind of enjoy it. The cat is shaking the camera. So ever since I had that psychic dream the first night, I was like, I want to have the kind of psychic dream where I prevent a crime or solve a crime. So I kept trying to go to sleep with that kind of intention for a dream. I don't think it ever happened, though, where I got any... I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of information I was getting. But the first night that I tried this tea... so this is what I wrote. I'm just going to read you right from my journal, because that was the moment. I was more in the moment than if I try and remember back and tell you now. I woke up to the sound of a gunshot. I thought it was real. It was so silent, though, I was scared. I tried to listen, but it was the deepest silence ever. Then I remembered, shotgun. I was frantic to remember the dream. Shotgun as in, like, I was trying to have a psychic dream to prevent a crime or solve a crime. I was 100% fully awake and alert in my mind, but I wasn't... but I was wandering backwards through my dream. It was really interesting. It was like I was able to go back. I was asleep and... I was awake, but I was also kind of still in a dream state, so it was like I was actually able to go back into the dream and replay the dream. I realized a lot of the dream had been my own story, but I couldn't remember where the shotgun came into it. I felt scared again, and then I thought I should look out the window. Because then I started to feel like, oh, maybe the shotgun wasn't in the dream after all. That's where, in an instant, I realized I had been in sleep paralysis this entire time and couldn't move. But in the instant of realizing that, it was like switch flipped and all the sound and my true room came into focus. Asleep with a fan on, and it was truly like a switch flipping with the sound of the fan returning to my ears. But not just that sound, all the layers of sound around me. Still, I got up from bed and looked out the window. There was nothing. But yeah, I really liked the sensation of the sound coming back into my awareness. I guess probably when we sleep, there's probably some kind of mechanism that shuts out the sounds around us so we can sleep and not be disturbed, and it was like becoming aware of that, and it was really cool how to have been aware of having all the sounds blocked out, and then they're just sudden, all the sounds around me are back, like the little creaks in the house and traffic outside, wind. I could just suddenly hear everything again. It was a really cool experience. I like that. That's what I mean. Sometimes sleep paralysis can be fun. I know it's like scary for a lot of people, but now that I've kind of become more aware of like the mechanisms of it and what's going on, I actually kind of enjoy it sometimes. Yeah, so that was my most interesting experience with this one. I just love the smell of this one. You know, I think maybe it's the licorice in it that's really good. Does it have? Yeah, it has licorice. I actually read, though, that licorice in your tea, like, a lot of people put that into sleep teas and dream teas, but it's actually really not a good idea to have tea with licorice. I forget exactly why. You might want to look that up. So the next tea I got was just kind of a standard tea. It was the least expensive of them all. Yeah, it was the least expensive of them all. And this was actual tea bags. And this is called Third Eye Chakra tea, and it's a Buddha tea. This tea did absolutely nothing. This was the one I've probably had the most. And nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. I don't even think it, like, relaxes me. This has different stuff in it than the other ones. So this has eyebright, spearmint, star anise, and passion flower. Passion flower is a supposed lucid dream tea, but being the last ingredient on the list, I think there's probably very little in here, so I might try getting just passion flower. Like, you can buy a bag of passion flower, like you can buy a bag of just mugwort. Maybe I'll make my own concoction. Or maybe it just doesn't do anything for me. Alright, so this next one, the last one I have, this one was fun. I loved the package, so I bought it. It was really expensive compared to the other ones. It's called Astral Plane, the Dream Tea. And I was thinking, because I bought this a little while after all the other ones, that, I'm going to get a bag this size. This little tiny bag shows up. I think I paid $25 for this, so I was like, oh. And it turns out it's tea bags. And they're, like, really nice natural tea bags. Which is nice. And this definitely has a lot of mugwort in it because, again, this tea, it has all kinds of stuff in it, but it tastes horrible. So this has mugwort, blue lotus, hops, skullcap, chamomile, ginseng, African dream root. That's a lucid dream herb. A skullcap is good for relaxing. It sounds kind of scary. The blue lotus. So this tea, it would give me like the most relaxed sensation immediately after drinking this tea. It's like I felt very alert and aware, but my body would just feel so completely relaxed. I really like that about this tea. It's great for relaxing. I don't really know so much about the dreaming. I did have a dream. It was really strange. It was like I was reading a book. And they say you can't see words in a dream. This dream gave me such a headache because that's all it was. It was me reading a literal book and the words. And I was getting like so tired because it just seemed so hard to read in the dream. Like it took so much focus. And so the story that I was reading, it like made no sense to me. It was like I had picked up a book in the middle. And it was about this boy who was climbing trees in the squire's orchard, and he was stealing the squire's apple. The squire is the only person I clearly remembered the name of. It's more of a title than a name. But that's what I clearly remembered. And when I woke up, it was funny. I was like, the only book I've ever read, I think, that has a squire is Treasure Island. And then, it's so stupid. I'm watching TV a little while later, and they're going over the story of Treasure Island on the TV show, and it's the part where Jim Hawkins is in the apple barrel on the pirate ship. So I thought that was, I mean, you know, it doesn't match up, but it's kind of got the same elements as the dream. So I thought that was kind of, I don't know, like synchronicity, kind of interesting coincidence with that tea. But so that was probably the only psychic experience with that tea, and I didn't have any astral plane experiences, and I didn't have any lucid dream experiences, I don't think. Not any strong ones, anyways. I did have a friend come over after... I've tried this one a lot, and I did have a friend come over, and he tried a tea bag, and then I was like, let's try a mutual dream, because I have this whole book, which maybe I'll do a video on sometime. This is a hard book to get a hold of. It's kind of older. It's from, I think, the 80s. It's called Mutual Dreaming, and the idea is that you can kind of program your dreams to have the same dreams with other people. But it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, so we didn't really do it right. But we tried to mutual dream, and it didn't work. There was no mutual dreams. There was no lucid dreams. It was very relaxing again, though, and fell right to sleep with that tea. That's about it with this tea. And then, like I said, I just had the best experience with the straight mugwort, but it's so hard to drink that. I don't know. Alright, so those are some dream teas. Like I said, I want to try just straight African dream root and the lotus flower. So maybe I'll do some more little reviews when I get those other teas. And it's possible if people are interested, I'll do a review on the mutual dreaming. This was a very interesting book. Very interesting book. Hard to get a hold of. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting. Maybe I'll see you next time.